that you're coming to Crystal's party tonight. I cannot wait to share these books with you. We have so many new titles and they're just fantastic. I wanted to touch on some books that I think will be perfect for your two. And I know they're 4 years old, so I wanted to share with you some of our early learning books as well as some amazing picture books that my 4-year-old is absolutely in love with. Plus, I want to touch on that oceanography area where you said that your kids absolutely love ocean animals. In fact, my son, when he was that age, adored ocean animals. So I want to share some books with you about that as well. Okay, so we're first going to start with those ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. One of our newest titles is Dottie and Dash's 1, 2, 3, and it is a pop-up book. I absolutely adore this because it is a story. So Dottie and Dash just can't agree which number is best. Is it 1, 2, or 3? Or maybe it could be 4, 5, or 6. Will 10 or 100 be their top picks? Dottie is firmly a number 1 fan. It does what no other number... Dottie is firmly a number 1 fan. It does what no other number quite can. 1 is one sun in the sky, 1 nose on your face, and 1 is your number if you win the race. So you've got your pop-up 1, and then it goes to the next ones, 2, 3. As it goes up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then it starts counting by 20s, all 50, and then 100. Now, if you notice on the bottom, you have number lines. So you're actually going to have a number line. This is 40 to 50. This is going to be 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 31 to 40 as you go. And there's going to be a number line on the bottom. And for the 1s through 10s, you're going to have the highlighted numbers of what you're actually getting. We also have another one that I absolutely love called Alfie and Bet's ABC, and it's the same style book with that storybook feel to it. I love these. These are such great resources, and they're one of my favorites for fun learning your numbers. Now, what about those actual learning books, right? So we have a Lift the Flap series that I always call our preschool Lift the Flap series. It's really preschool and kindergarten, and you can see that with our math versions of these books, but it will have a wavy line down the side. So this is Lift the Flap ABC. What I love about this series is that it is not just memorization. It actually makes you think. So it gets the child involved in higher order thinking skills, which is so fantastic. So this happens to be ABC. There's also a 1, 2, 3, or it's called Numbers. There's also First Math. There's My Busy Day, Shapes. Oh goodness, let's see. Shapes, measuring, sizes and measuring. Let's see what else is over there. Opposites, word problem, or word book, so many different ones. But I wanted to share with you, these are flaps. So you've got your ABCs, and of course underneath, you actually have what's missing, which is really cool. But then you have pages like this. So on the farm, say names of these, the names of these things all start with different sounds. Say each sound, then lift the flap to see what letter it matches. Apple. Well, what does that start with? It's going to start with A. And you'll notice it's phonics based. Down here, can you see something in this picture that starts with each of these sounds? Lift the flaps to find the answers. Apron, and you find the apron on the person. So I love that it goes through all of these, and the same idea as that other book. The letters that it's going to discuss on that page are going to be highlighted at the bottom. So these are fantastic. I love this whole series. It's what my 4-year-old and I go through all the time. In fact, her current favorite one is Shapes. She is all about that book, even though she knows all of her shapes. She just loves it. Okay. Next, I want to share some other early learning books that are more geared towards actually answering those questions and finding true information. Now, one of the things I love about Usborne Books and More is it takes material that's up here and it presents it down here where younger kids can understand it. So I used to utilize a lot of these books in my middle and high school science class, not the ones I'm going to show you, but they were geared more towards elementary school, but the material was still of the level that my middle and high schoolers were learning. So they're fantastic for that regard. One of the series I want to mention is the questions and answers series. We have very first questions and answers, first questions and answers, and then questions and answers. All of them are going to be appropriate for the kiddos in your life right now. This happens to be questions and answers about science. It's going to answer the who, what, why, where, how, and when questions. And each page, of course, yes or no, each page is going to actually have questions on it. So this is yes or no. Do you know what these scientists do? And it actually talks about each of the scientists. A meteorologist. Do you know what a meteorologist does? I study the weather. I can tell you what to expect in the next few days and warn you about hurricanes and droughts. Is the sky really blue? That's another one that's up here. And you've got these awesome answers. They're questions that kids ask. We have kids ask 455 questions a day, and it's nice to have a resource to get them to understand that material. So, really fun books. We have so many in that series, so check that out. I wanted to mention Look Inside Seas and Oceans. Look Insides are usually geared towards 5 and up, but I think it would be appropriate for your kiddos if you sit down with them. These are flaps. They're going to give small chunks of information, which I love. So the idea is not to overwhelm them with so much information in a slab of text. So it gets the point across as small bits and pieces. I love that this is going in depth under the ocean, on the ocean floor, and really seeing what's out there. So they're fantastic. I just definitely recommend these books, Look Insides. Now, as 4-year-olds, they're comparing themselves to everything around them. They're not yet comparing like to like or like to different quite as much as they are comparing it all to themselves. They do that up until about 7 years old. That's what this series is for. This happens to be our life-size series. We have life-size and life-size dinosaurs, and it is exactly what it says. This is a 12-inch by 12-inch book, or a 1-foot squared book. And inside, you are face-to-face with life-size parts of animals. In fact, that is the life-size toes of an elephant. One of the really cool things about the book is it gets the kids to interact with it. So you get to give the polar bear a high five and compare your hand size to the polar bear's hand size. It has so many different ones. This is one of my son's favorite. I swear, any child I've ever given that book to, they've always done that on that page. This is another one. This is a giant squid eye. So they can actually see how big a giant squid eye is. And the next page always gives a bit more information about whatever that animal happens to be and its true size. And it takes it to another level by taking it to the math side of things. Remember, it's 1 foot squared. So it's going to talk about the number of life-size books, or feet, that these animals are as far as being tall, long, or their height, their width, whatever it happens to be. So I love Life Size. It is fantastic, as one of our favorite books in our house. Now, last but not least, I wanted to mention some great picture books. Don't worry, activity books are forthcoming in our videos tonight, so you'll see lots of those too. There's so many different ones to choose from sticker books to puzzles to just so many out there that are so fun. But I wanted to get to these picture books. This is my daughter's current favorite. This is Beast Feast. It's all about this little boy, Dinner, who's caught by this beast who's going to eat him. And he has a change of heart as they go through, and they become better friends as he's trying to fatten him up. If you've ever heard of Nibbles, the Monster Guide, or Nibbles Dinosaur Guide, Nibbles Monster Hunt, Nibbles the Book Monster, any of those Nibbles books, that is Emma Yarlett. And Nibbles is one of our favorites in the house. There are 3 in that series, plus you've got the books that are for younger kids with those. They're great picture books. Emma Yarlett is fantastic. Beast Feast is another of her books. And what's really cool is Beast gets to write to his friends to invite them to dinner, and they write back. So it's a little bit about letters as well as just really, really super fun books. So check out Beast Feast. I love that one. Thought this was right up your alley. This is Steve, Terror of the Seas, and as a science teacher, this makes my heart happy. It's all about this little fish as he's going through life, and he's talking about how nobody likes him. He's just all alone because nobody likes him, but he's so excited because he scares everybody. He can't figure out. He's not a very scary fish. He tells you all about his statistics, and then he's compares himself to other fish. He's like, I'm not like those guys. They're scary. But, we have to meet my friend. And who's his friend? Let's think about it. He's a pilot fish, so his friend is a shark. Who are they really scared of? Is it really Steve? And what's great is it gives them some nonfiction information in the back all about mutual relationships. and symbiosis. So this one's right up my alley. Super, super fun. This is another book that just came out. This is The Biggest Story, and I absolutely adore this story. It is so cute. Errol's mom is a little too busy for telling stories all the time, and she has to work, and of course we're somewhat in the same boat a lot of times where we have to work and we can't do stories all the time. And so in fact he goes through and he makes up stories to try to help his brain and move on and have fun, and he finds so many creative outlets to do this in, and it is just such a fun story. We adore this one in our house, so check this one out, The Biggest Story. And then last but not least, I wanted to mention this one. This happens to be Ocean Lee. Now, the author of this, Lynn Parrish Sutton, she's written 4 books like this Animal Lee, Ocean Lee, let's see, American Lee, and then our most recent, which is Once Upon a Time Lee. I love these books because it's lyrical, it's beautiful. I love you infinitely like the sand. I love you fluidly like water meets land. I love you openly like the sky. I love you sociably like a seagull's cry. And you've got these great images. They are absolutely adorable, beautiful, beautiful illustrations. The illustrator is Hazel Mitchell in this particular one. Such amazing things in this book. Absolutely beautiful. I love the diversity that's in this book as well. And then of course you have this ending, which is absolutely beautiful. I love you predictably like the tide. I love you awesomely like a sweet, sweet ride. I love you beachly, oceanly, surely. I love you so, you mean the world to me. And all of her books are absolutely beautiful. So such a great bedtime story, such a fun one. And with them loving the ocean so much, I bet this one would be right up their alley. So check that out. I cannot wait to party with you tonight. Have a great day.